Good day. If Secondra feels that she can trust you, then you have my faith and respect as well, beckoned. Go, place them at the litany altar, and it will activate the magic of all the other litanies throughout the Teeth of Naros. Farewell, Chosen One. Now that you have placed the litanies at the litany altar and activated their magic, any other litanies you may come across will be helpful to you. Here is one I found while you were searching for the 5 to place at the litany altar. Take it as a reward. Thank you for your help, beckoned. Farewell, Chosen One.
What is it?
I hope you find out.
You have slain Kern. I now have the peace of mind to know that my wife's murderer is no longer around to torment her grave. I cannot thank you enough. I have little of my own, but take these. The gauntlets I wore when I first started carving stone. May they serve you. I miss her every day, but there is some small comfort in knowing that her death has been avenged. Goodbye.
Anakatos make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor, so that I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, And now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again. We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Terex eyries lie in the wilds of the Teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Terex here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Salvation awaits. Feel Balan's embrace! Feel my wrath! Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the Teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! We wandered the Teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. We must act. my wrath! Feel my wrath! In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation, to raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. Very well, Beckoned.
Would that I had time to worry about Idilla, but my work takes up so much of my focus, I can only spare it half-thoughts. With this city still being incomplete, I have found myself more interested in research than the gods. We have been given the light of Athene, but we should share that with as many as we can. I am a diplomat, so to speak. Though they lack our grace, some of the brutes of this place have in them a shred of reason. The marauders were once thinking, feeling colossi, and the Jotun were kin as well. I must try to appeal to their wisdom. The Jotun have old ties to the colossi, very old ones. We marshaled their strength for the glory of Athene before we came here. We felt ourselves their custodians, but they viewed us as masters, and their resentment only grew from there. The Teeth of Naros is a very dangerous place. Even those that know the dangers well can still find themselves at its mercy, or lack thereof. We have earned much for our closeness with the gods, but we have a duty to share that connection with all of Amalur. Be careful. There is nothing safe down here, nothing. Journeying the Teeth of Naros?
You must be the beckoned, the blessed visitor from an unknown land. But perhaps, if you have the strength to reach these lands alone, then you are strong enough to aid me. Idilla is indeed the most beautiful city one will ever see, for the gods themselves inspired it. I manage to do what I can in the way of study. There are few resources available for a student of history out here. But it is important nonetheless. Where would we be if not for historians? How would we have acclimated to this land so quickly? I would prefer to stay within the sturdy walls of Idylla, but nothing can really substitute for practical experience, can it? This is the homeland of the trolls, so to speak. I aim to study them, so I must do so in the wild. There were tomes and prayers written in your honor centuries ago. We were forced to leave them behind, but if only you had seen them. I have been studying the trolls in the area and have seen something of great concern. The trolls have unearthed a number of urns which possess a deadly magic. They are curious, for as long as we have been here, my people have not encountered the like of these urns, nor the ashes they contain. I lack the strength to face the magics of these urns, but Athene is in your thoughts. You could destroy them. The trolls believe these urns to be artifacts of the god Naros, but the ashes they contain have a vile, corrupting magic. I fear what may happen if the trolls are left in control of these urns, and the power they contain. Thank you for your help with this. The ashes contained in those urns are too dangerous. There are troll dens scattered around the Teeth. It is probably best to start your search there. However, you will be able to feel the dark magic when you are near to one of the urns. Oh, already?
I hope you find Idylla.
Do you require assistance? I can heal whatever wounds you may suffer. Perhaps I should see Stratton's newest play.
You destroyed all the urns? What a relief! Their dark magic will no longer be attainable by the trolls. You can withstand these magics. Perhaps you can make use of this artifact I've uncovered. A grim shield, but strong. Imposing and indignant creatures. We Colossi have managed to drive the majority of them from this vicinity. But those that remain have started digging. For what? I don't truly know. Only that they seek some means of retribution. Safe travels, Beckoned.
Who wanders into my camp? What is this? You are far too small to be a Colossi. So it's true then. The Beckoned has come. The heads of the city's inhabitants are as high in the clouds as the city itself, with their talk of religion and righteous gods. I much prefer to stay closer to the ground and stick to my roots. I once tried to forge peace between the Jotun and the Colossi, but as I did, I became enamored of the simplicity they enjoy. I have taken to living in this old camp to try and enjoy it as I can. The Jotun have wronged the Colossi in the past, but the Colossi have a shared history with them. It was right to grant them mercy. Most find it completely inhospitable, but I find that it is not so difficult if you try a different sort of living. Yes, the plants are unpalatable and the beasts cunning, but you can't expect nature to offer you wine and sweets if all you do is ask. This is my home, but not for much longer. I moved out here to reconnect with my roots, you see. My heritage as a giant race. However, my time on my own has come to an end. I am ready to take the next step and go and live amongst the Jotun of the Teeth of Naros. There are only loose ends that need to be taken care of, but I have sworn off Idylla for all days I have left. Karunk was my chief concern with me trying to move in with the Jotun. Now that he is dead, it seems to be the perfect time to do this. The logical step is that I must live among the Jotun. Yes, I do. I have lived on my own in this abandoned Jotun camp long enough. Would you? I will reward you for your help. I will not be needing the coin where I am going. I want for my family ring, currently in the hands of my brother Heliodorus, and to see my journal delivered to my old comrade Darius. But perhaps most of all, I want you to find my wife, Corina. I would like you to bring her here to me. You must retrieve my family ring, deliver my journal, and speak with my wife. The ring is currently in the possession of my rather odious brother Heliodorus in Idylla. I doubt he will surrender it kindly. He hides it in the living quarters of Idylla. You can try liberating the ring yourself or finding a way of dealing with my brother. Convince Corina to come down from the city and see me. If you could bring her here, then I can talk her into living with me and the Jotun. My journal needs to be delivered to my friend, Darius. He is most likely camped out somewhere in the Teeth of Naros. Be quick, Beckoned. I must get to the Jotun soon. There's not really enough space in this camp for two.
Hello there, Beckoned. Been traveling in the Teeth of Naros? Istus is a dear friend of mine, formerly a peer, but as we tried to build ties with the Jotun, well, things turned. Farewell. Hello there, Beckoned. Been traveling in the Teeth of Naros? This is Histus's research. So that must mean he is preparing to go live with the Jotun. I cannot say I completely agree with Histus's methods, but I can respect his intent with his research. Thank you, Beckoned. Wish him the best for me. Hello there.
Watch your step in the concourse.
Blessings to you.
What brings the Beckoned to me on this day? You have seen Histus? I have not heard from him in so long. I was worried something had happened to him. What business has he sent you on? That fool! He is as oblivious and idealistic as the day I took him for my husband. Very well, I will see him after straightening out some affairs. Farewell, Beckoned.
The gods
Stay
are
out of
good to
trouble.
us.
You must be the Beckoned. The Beckoned. Greetings. Yes.
Do you bring news from below? Histus has the nerve to call himself a brother, living in the wilds, acting like a savage? Might as well be a marauder. My family has done much for this city, so we are given our own private station in these quarters. They serve well enough, but I cannot say they compare to the home we had before we came to these blasted lands. They are the lowest, colossi without faith, mindless, violent, and forever despairing. Do not trouble me with such talk. I know the sins of my people well enough. We all do. My brother? I would hardly consider Histus family anymore. He left that behind when he turned his back on civilization, like one of those marauders. What business has he sent you on, Beckoned? I suppose I have been rather hard on Histus. If he feels this is his calling, then I should support him as family. The ring is in my chest over there. Here is the key to open it. Yes, farewell.
I expected the Beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
Yes. Have you been to the light caves?
I almost did not see you.
The gods are good to us.
The Beckoned! There is no weakness in relying on potions. All colossi know this. I have... Potions for every... I have potions to offer you, beckoned. A great many potions. My... Potions cure... Would you like something to help with flesh wounds? The Pterics below the city can be vicious. I have potions for every need. I can help. Are you looking to have your equipment repaired? Farewell.
The finest. Please peruse my ware. Beckoned. I will be here if you need. Everything you... Welcome to the Idylla Market, Beckoned. Can I interest you in a freshly honed weapon? Mind the city's edges.
The Beckoned! There is no weakness in... relying on potions. All my potions cure all wounds.
Don't see many new faces out here. So you have completed the tasks, but I do not see Corina. Then her choice is made. Well, there is no more putting this off. I must take my leave. Well, the Jotun go with bare feet, so I will as well. Take my sandals, Beckoned. They may be of some use to you. Perhaps you are right. The Jotun are not exactly the most reasonable of creatures when it comes to outsiders. I suppose I could wait and observe them a bit longer before I make an attempt to live with them. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. You truly speak with the wisdom of Athene. They act like they are above everything, but they are mud and dust, like everything else in this world. They just aren't decent enough to admit it. There's not really enough space in this camp for two.